the site of my Sasquatch sighting. This is a park reserve in Minnesota. Hyland Lake Park Reserve in Bloomington, Minnesota. And I know there's a Sasquatch that lives right over there. He's in that wilderness. He's in that woods over there. I've seen him. I've sensed him. I've legit seen him. He's covered in hair, head to foot, even on his face. He was wearing some clothes, like scrappy old clothes. It looks like he may have dug out of the trash or somewhere. I don't know. But he was wearing clothes because he was legit walking through the park. So I came over here today to see if possibly I may get another sighting of him. Scared the bejesus out of me. But I ended up walking right past him, and he was looking at me and I was looking at him, and I was like, hey, I didn't want him to know I was scared, so I was like, what's up? And then I walked really fast to my car. But that is some of my Yeti story. I was walking over, there's a trail that follows this lake. This is like a huge lake, and it goes around the lake. And I was walking on a trail because I used to live in an apartment over here, and there's a trail that actually starts over there. I came in over on this side behind me. But I was walking over there, and the hair on my neck and my arms stood up, and I felt like something was stalking me, preying on me. And again, I felt like I should be cool and not be afraid, so I just kind of puffed up my shoulders, and instead of turning around and running away, I continued on the trail as quickly as I could. But I kind of psychically kind of felt a presence too, and so psychically in my head I told the thing that I'm not afraid of you, and you're not going to mess with me, and leave me alone. And I think that, who knows, maybe that saved my life or prevented something worse. I don't know. But there is a huge park reserve over here. It actually goes, you can follow the trails along the way through the neighborhoods down into the Mississippi River. So my theory, and it is springtime here in Minnesota, it's thawing out. You can see the lake still has some ice on it. It's thawing out. My theory is that, because I saw this guy late spring, it was kind of later spring. It's April now. I want to say it was like May. This was a few years ago actually that I've seen it. My theory is that they come down, they probably go down south in the winter, like down into Missouri, I'm thinking. I don't think they probably go all the way to Florida, but who knows? They may go all the way to the Gulf for all we know, but I do think they follow the Mississippi River preserve area and all the preserves along the way, and they kind of migrate with the wildlife and with the weather. So now that it's springtime, I think they're probably on their way back up north, and then they go all the way north. I think they go up into Canada, maybe over to the west, upper northwest, in the summers. So I think that's their pattern, but nobody is here. There's nobody. I don't even want to get out of my car. I'm kind of scared because it's like nobody's here, and I know this thing is around. Oh, there's some people over there. There's some people over there. But this is where I saw him though. He was walking right over here. And it's like nobody saw him but me. Like, I was freaking out when I saw this guy. It was definitely a guy. He was probably, I'd say, definitely over 6 foot. He must have been 6'5", at least. He was like 6'5" to 6'8", I would say. Very, very tall. Dirty. I could smell him. Yeah, just looked like it looked beyond like a wild man. It looked like a mix between like a wild person, like a wild human being that's been living in the forest their whole life, and like a type of ape being, because he had hair all over the place, like more so than a normal human being should. Like, people don't normally grow hair up here, and he had hair like covering his face, but I could still see his eyes and his mouth. But definitely an experience that I wanted to share while I'm still around, and yeah, highlight this area, Hyland Lake Park Reserve in Minnesota, Bloomington, Minnesota. Go check it out. Like I said, I think he's living on like the south side of the nature preserve, all up in here. And there are so many places to hide. And I've heard stories from the locals that there are tons of cave systems actually in Bloomington that they've covered up over the years, but I'm sure that's a good place for people to be hiding out, or for skunk apes, Sasquatch, Yeti, wild man, whatever you want to call them. They're out there, so be careful, everyone.